Hi folks, and welcome to another random platypus review. So this time we're going to be looking at the terrain crate box from Mantic with the battlefield objectives. Now, those of you that watched the last vid will know this is another one in the series to do with playing Vanguard with my local club, which is Aftermath Gaming Club in Norwich. So yeah, I thought I'd take a closer look at these because these are going to be the first things that I paint up because we need them for our various different games. Take those out of the way at the moment. Knocking things off my desk as I go, so just apologise for that. I'll slap this over the way. Yeah, so it comes like this in your nice plasticky tray and in polythene. So I could just try and put it off, but I'm going to go with being a bit intelligent and using my little knife. Now, aha. I think in the previous video I did a sort of brief look over these, but obviously what I need to do is look at them with a bit more detail and size and what they're made of. So yeah, this is it's the kind of similar plastic to what the Walking Dead all-out war miniatures are made from. I'll just I'm actually going to zoom in or zoom out as I always do by accident to begin with. So hopefully you can see from that it's really quite nicely detailed and on both sides. So that's one of those. There's actually three and they are all, I believe, different. Yep. So you've got like a snake or a serpent on that one on both sides, which is quite cool. Those are going to look really nice when they're done. This one has got more like writing scribed into it by the looks of things, like runic writing, and again on both sides. Now they are, well, this one is, I think you can see it said pre-assembled and I was a bit like is it? But then you can see there that it is pre-assembled. There's a sort of basey bit on it. Now you don't need bases for those, they stand up quite nicely on their own, so I'm not going to bother putting those on the base. There's at first glance, it looks like a tree stump. It is a tree stump, but it has a little knapsack lent up against it with, it looks like a pistol and, well no, a pair of pistols next to it as well. That's kind of cool. Then we have a smaller rock. Actually, I don't know if I got all of that in there. You see there's a pistol there and a pistol there with the knapsack. Right, this one. Again, it looks like another sort of standing stone, but much smaller than the others. And it's got a more kind of waystone-y look to it, with a kind of glyph that suggests maybe like a portal or something on it. Then we have what appears to be a dragon egg with, if you can see at the top, a little dragon head poking out of it. I say head, it's the tip of the jaw sort of thing. I dare say you could use it for alien style eggs if you wanted to, but it's clearly fantasy, so it's clearly a dragon egg. I should go to next, and this looks like a powder keg with perhaps a ramrod and some cannonballs. It's kind of cool. The obligatory treasure chest, because you can't have an objective marker for fantasy which doesn't involve a treasure chest, and it's just spilling over with money, which makes me think that it could be a bit like a I don't know, a mercenary unit's pay chest that they've kind of either lost or misplaced or are fighting over. Perhaps they put it down between, you know, maybe getting hijacked by highwaymen or something. So then we've got a box which looks like, I'm trying to look to see what's in that. Come on, focus. The two sacks look like they've got food, so I'm going to say they look like little flagons of like ale or something. So maybe it's a crate of like dwarven ale and food. Never ever steal the ale off the dwarfs or their food. They're going to be upset. And then you've got a don't know what you'd call that, an arms crate, which has got, I mean the sword's a bit big to be actually part of being in it, but you've got smaller swords that are in it, and a larger sword in the top, a couple of shields lent up against it, so it's like an axe and a sword at the back as well. Very much a weapons cache. Then the kind of more sometimes seen as controversial damsel in distress. You know, perhaps not all damsels would be so easily distressed. Perhaps especially if she could just shimmy up the pole a little bit, she'd escape. But it's a really nice piece, and again, is a really, you know, for fantasy wise, if you have a dragon, then a damsel in distress would be kind of traditional. And you know, I have no real issue with that. I think that perhaps they could have added a male captive as well, which would have made it just as good, if not better. Okay, so that's that one, and I think I'm going to have to base her up, and I think there needs to be a bit more. I feel for her a little bit more than just the pole there, so I'm going to have to think of something that makes it look a little bit less difficult to get away from. Just move this out of the way. The next one is a fallen warrior sort of stuck under his horse. You know, you could use it as a casualty marker by the looks of things, or like you say, it's an objective marker where you've got to maybe pull the dude out from under his horse, which I feel a bit sorry for, because clearly the horses had it. Right, and the last one is actually two pieces, which I guess is because you don't have to, or perhaps during a mission you can light the beacon and then the flame appears on the top of it like that. So what I might do is add a magnet to it, although I'm not sure how easy or how difficult that might be. But yeah, I'm going to paint them up first and then magnet later, I think, and paint over the magnet if I have to. Think about that one later. But this is really quite nice. I quite like this for several different reasons. It's a really nice objective, you know, setting off the beacon to warn your neighbouring villages and towns or whatever that there's an attack coming or you're under attack, so brace your walls and reinforce your doors and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's all of the objectives. So what I shall be doing, just sling that out of the way, what I shall be doing with these is spray undercoating them pretty quickly and getting them into a state of being able to use, hopefully for next week, because next week, which will probably be at some point in the past by the time this video goes out, will be the week beginning with, let's check my diary, the 22nd. So the club meets on every Tuesday, so it'll be the 23rd of July. Will be the first day where we actually play some games of Vanguard. So I've got to undercoat these and have them painted and start building my warband, which will be another video, possibly after this one, which won't necessarily be that close together because we're trying to spread it out. There's several of us doing blogs and videos, so we're trying not to just spam, trying to think about collectively how to release our material in a kind of constructive way. So the next time I see you will be with these undercoated so I can paint them, which I may roll into another video. So I might see you in a little bit. If not, watch out for the next vid. Catch you next time. Bye bye now.